Hello. I've come back out here again today to a place I quite often come, and on the way out here, broad daylight, way over the mountain, I saw two streaks of lightning, and I thought, that's pretty rare. Daytime lightning around here is really, really rare. We don't tend to see it. It tends to be more of an afternoon thing, but it's I can hear thunder rumbling over in the mountains. So I have put up shelter first. Normally I would do a bit of video before I set everything up. I've got the shelter set up first, just in case, because I have a feeling it might be one of those days today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some firewood cut up and get a fire going before the rain starts, because if you've got a good fire going before the rain starts, there's a, I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but I can actually hear thunder rumbling over there. Yeah. Which way is the cloud going? Cloud's coming from that way as well, and fairly fast. So yeah, I think I'll get this fire going before I have trouble getting it going. So here I am back again. Now, somebody did ask me the other day if I could show a little bit clearer how I lay my fires out. So if you look in the bottom, you'll see there's 4 logs. They're all spaced close together. Now, if you want to, any piece of wood can only give you a certain amount of heat. That's the rules. A piece of wood has a certain amount of energy in it, and the speed at which you burn it depends on your fire. Now, these bottom logs, if you space them apart, the fire will burn faster. If you close them up together like that, it gives a really good base. I always like to do that, very good base. Same with these top ones. Yeah. Now if you look, I've left gaps here and here. In those gaps, I've put smaller material. There's smaller material laid through there as well. That helps the fire get going. So if you leave the whole fire spaced wide open, it'll burn faster and hotter. If you close those logs in together, you'll find that you'll get a much slower burn. So what I've done is I've spaced the tops, put a bunch of stuff in it because I need to get this fire going, because I'm not convinced I'm not going to be able to get swamped out here. So I've set that up there, my ever trusty cotton board in the top. So I will set this up on here and see if I can show you exactly how I do that. See if that works like that. That'll probably work. Let's give that a go. I have here some dry bits just ready to go on the top. And all I need is one decent spark to land in there and I'm away. So let's see what we can do. Oh, I think we got it. There we go. Now I would normally immediately put all my stuff away, like fire stuff and what have you, but because I've got weather closing in, I'm going to feed this fire for a little bit. The moss that's in here, this green stuff that you see, old man's beard or whatever you call that, that stuff burns pretty well, but it is fairly damp. We have had some good rain, which is why I'm going to mess with the fire a little bit. Normally I just light it, walk away and just leave it to do its thing, but today I'm going to feed it just a little bit, just till I know it's on its way. Looks like it's pretty good now. Yeah, right, I know I'm good now, so I'm going to put this stuff away, let that do its thing. And that is how easy it is to get a fire going. Now, because I've got the logs, they're spaced apart on the top row. I mean, you can come up as many rows as you want, but I don't like great big tall raging fires. I like the fires to be smaller and much more controllable. If it's an overnight fire and it's kind of towards winter, what I would do is I don't make it in a fire ring like that. I just do a big long, if I was camping here at night, what I would do in winter is those rocks, I would extend those out, so I just got a straight wall down this back side. I just have a straight wall there, and if I was camping I'd be over that way, just to give it a bit of a heat store and push the heat towards me a little bit. But people say they're heat reflectors and all the rest of it. They're not really. It stops a lot of the heat going the other way. It doesn't make the heat come back your way. It just stops it going the other way. So yeah, I see people building all these fancy wooden reflectors and what have you. I do that sometimes, but I don't use them as heat deflectors. I use them for smoke, stop the wind hitting the fire, use them as a windbreak basically. But I also use them to dry the logs out, because they are really good at drying the logs out ready for the next lot. Right, I'm just going to go and find a few more small sticks, and I'll be back. Right, fire's underway. Cloud is speeding up, but it still has gaps in the cloud, so that's good. We still have good sized gaps, so we'll go with that. Now, all the time we've got gaps, we're good. It's when it becomes a solid grey that it becomes a problem. As you can see, fire's going. You don't have to mess with it too much. I've just put a few cross pieces on the top. Job done. As you can see, that's burning down through there good now. There's lots of heat in there now. Don't have to worry about it. I don't have any sausage rolls at the moment. Most people know that I really like my sausage rolls. But I bought some pepperonis with me today. They say they're beef pepperonis. So there's pepper in it, and there's some onies. But other than that, I couldn't even tell you what's in them. But I can tell you, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need a snack that's good for you, pepperonis are actually good, because it has some kind of meat in it, whatever it may be. It has salt in it, and it's easy to carry. It's very light, and the obvious advantage is you don't have to cook it. Yeah, you can just eat it as is. So I have all of those in here. They're easy to carry. They taste good. Some kind of something in them. Who knows what? They do have salt in them, which is obviously something you need if you're out in the middle of nowhere. Some kind of meat and fats, and who knows. It's supposed to be beef. Who knows? You could call it potato flavour. There's no way of knowing 100% what's in it. But they are good. They're handy to have in the pack, and it's just a food that you can take with you that is light, easy to carry, takes up very little space, and gives you good energy too. And that's the secret. Make sure you've got food with you that can keep you going. You need quite a bit of calories if you're hiking around the mountains and stuff. You'd be surprised how many calories you get through. Let's just have a closer look at that fire. See how that's progressing. Yep. Top logs are burning down through. All the embers are falling through onto the bottom logs. Always put a layer in the bottom, give a fire a base to work on. If you've got damp ground, you'll be surprised how that fire will literally suck all the heat and the damp out of the ground. And it actually makes your fire harder to get going. So always build a base. I like this kind of fire. Anybody that follows me and what have you will know that I'm not a fan of TP fires, not at all. There is a time and a place for them, and for me that time and a place was about 20 years ago, before I realised that the best fires to light are actually these the pyramid fires, upside down fires, call them whatever you want, but these are actually the best fires to light, because they're the least hassle. You just light it, let it get on with it. Look at it, I ain't got to do nothing with that. Once some of the middles are burnt out, I can just push the ends in and job done. Right, I will continue with my wandering around collecting up some firewood. I've just cut up some more over there. I do have my fire bucket with me today. I do have water. I will say the same thing I say every single time I light a fire. Once you light a fire, it is your fire. You are responsible for it. No matter what it does, you are responsible for it. So always make sure before you light a fire, you know how you're going to put that fire out. So let me put this back around here. So I have a stack of wood here. I've just cut up another piece over there, so I don't have to worry about wood for a while. I know I'm good for a little bit here. Let's just put that back around there. I do have 2 more water buckets over here. And my water jug. I also have my flaps in the bucket. I have 2 water bottles with me today. I'm going to be making some oatmeal later. I realised the other day I hadn't had oatmeal for a while. So it's one of those things, because I eat a lot of oatmeal. But if you continually eat the same thing over and over again, that's why I haven't got sausage rolls at the moment. I will pick some up on the way home, but that's why I haven't got any with me at the moment. Because you can only eat so many. You find a food that you like, and you just keep eating it and eating it and eating it, and eventually you think, oh, I need a break from that for a while. So, right, I'm going to stop rabbiting. I'm going to eat the rest of this pepperoni, and I'm going to go around and collect up some more firewood, and I should be good. Right, another small one here. You always want to alternate your layers like that. Right, let's let that do its thing. I don't know how well that's coming out on camera, but it's greying up pretty good. Yeah. I do have my kettle with me today, so my plan is to do some oatmeal on that later. Should be pretty good. Something down through there. That's good. See, that's the advantage of lighting a fire like this. I don't have to mess with it. I don't have to be continually trying to find wood. If you're building a teepee fire, you're forever finding wood to put on it to build it up, build it up, build it up. This fire builds itself up. Yeah. Every now and again just chuck a few bits on it. I have some more pieces cut up. I have a stash of wood over here. I have another stash of wood down that way. So, like I say, if I was doing this as a winter spot, all these rocks along the front, I would stand out more of a curve at the back there, and I'd be using bigger logs. Yeah, but this is just a day fire, so I'm not worried about that. And that now will do its own thing. I don't have to mess with it. Yeah. It's easy now. I see people struggling to light fires. I mean, this wood is fairly damp. It's not super dry wood, not by any stretch of the imagination. You can feel the damp in it. But if it was tinder dry wood, that would be going now. It takes a little bit of heat. It's about 250 some odd degrees, I think it is, before the wood will actually burn. But once it reaches that, you're good. Now, if I was making this, if I wanted this fire to last a lot longer, what I would do is I'd keep the cross logs close together. So if you imagine if you've got gaps in the logs, the air can get in, all the embers can fall down between them. But if you sit it like that, all the embers are now sitting on top of these logs. Some of these are only fairly small pieces, a couple of inches tops. But if you're using big logs, you need to get the heat into the log. And actually, a big log takes a fair bit of heat to get going. So, yeah. If I suddenly decided I had to stay here overnight, I do have another tarp with me as well, so I can make a decent shelter. I can just move these rocks around, use this as a starter fire, get some big logs going, because there'll be some decent heat in this a bit later. And then away I go. Yeah. Easy, isn't it? Right, now I do have my kettle with me, but I need some decent embers for the kettle. And, I will make a brew in that later. I do have some food with me, so we will go with that and see. Let's see if I can catch some of this sky for you. Let's see if I can catch some of this. I don't know if I can hold it still enough so you can see the cloud, see how fast it's moving. Don't know how well that will come out, but it is moving pretty quick. And west of here, which is that way, that's where the big mountains are. I'm only not even a kilometre from the big mountains, I guess, right from the bottom of the mountains, maybe 2. And it, let me tell you, it does kick the weather over there, that's for sure. But, right, I will keep an eye on our little fire here. It's doing fairly good. See, once you light it, you don't have to mess with it. Just leave it, let it do its thing. Have a shelter set up should I need it. I have a feeling I might. And just go from there. I'll do some more later. Right, just cut up some more firewood. This is the view from my shelter, my wonderful shelter. Got a stick in there. Always put a hat on or something on the top of there just so you don't poke holes in your tarp. Just cut up some more firewood under here. But as you can hear the wind. See the trees moving. Yeah. We shall see what we get for weather. It's close to the mountains, you can get whatever, or you can get like 4 seasons in one day. That's the only thing with living here. This is why you always make sure you have all your gear with you, and you're always prepared. Always, always, always. Yeah. I see people out for day hikes in their Lululemons, and look at me, I'm so trendy. Yeah, and their hair's all done, and they've got their Uggy boots on, and you're like, right, really? Whatever. You get stuck out in the middle of nowhere, you're in trouble. I see them all the time. No day pack, no water, no nothing, no bear spray, just out for a walk, you know, it's just like they're walking in the park. No. It can change fast out here. It can change really fast. But I just processed a whole load of firewood with my sawhorse that I always use up against the tree. Anybody that's ever seen that before will know how I do that. Just in case you've never seen it, let me show you. Yeah. All you do is you take a stick like this, sharpen the point, bang it in the ground, at an angle like that, tie it to the tree, bit of cord around there. I always take that off once I leave. I always take the cord off the tree, and then what you do is you take your long pieces of wood, you lay them through here like this. You can put your boot on it, and then hey presto, you can process a lot of wood very, very quickly. But if you're out in the mountains and you've just got your Lululemons on and your Uggy boots and looking very trendy, what do you cut up firewood with then? You don't. I guarantee you, if you haven't got water, you ain't got anything with you to light a fire. So this is the crap I bring with me just for a day. Right? I've got another tarp in my pack as well. I have everything I need. If I had to make a different shelter, I can use my other pole. But at the moment, I've just got it thrown up in the air, basically. But it's that long line along the front, the ridge line. If it gets really, really bad, I can drop the back down this on this back corner. I can just drop this down to ground level, no problem. I can that'll help keep the wind off. The reason, somebody did ask me about that the other day. They say, why don't you just peg the back of the tarp down? And I'll tell you why. Because sitting here with this up, I still have shelter, but I still have 360-degree view. If I bring this right down to the ground, I only have about 180-degree view. And since we are in the middle of bear country, cougar country, there are wolves, coyotes, bears, you name it out here. So it and also this time of the year, something that people often overlook is moose, elk. They've only got one thing on their mind this time of the year, and if you're in their territory, they don't want you there. They really don't. They have no idea what you are, but they don't want you there. Yeah, so that can actually be a huge problem. So there's a huge moose and elk population around here as well. Not so worried about the bears and stuff. They tend to keep them well away from people. It's the only time you tend to have trouble with bears is if you've got a huge amount of food smells, if you've got dogs with you or whatever, because people say, oh yeah, well nobody will come anywhere near me if I got my dog with me. Well, let me tell you, it's your dog that actually attracts the bears, yeah, because a four-legged fluffy thing, a bear knows is food, yeah. So if it sees a dog, it thinks, hey, that's food, I can eat that. And then once a bear claims your dog as food, dog comes back to you, bear comes with it, hey presto, you got trouble. So most of the problems that you see with people with bears and stuff is usually because they got dogs with them. That's half the battle. And also smell. Like if you're out fishing and you've been catching good fish all day, you smell like fish now, right? And to a bear hunts with its nose. Yeah, it really does. Its eyesight's pretty crap actually. Most bears' eyesight's garbage. Yeah. But their sense of smell is beyond stunning. I mean, they make a bloodhound look like a complete and utter pure amateur. But if you smell like fish, bears coming your way, especially if you smell like dead fish, like you've just gutted up a bunch of fish, you just cleaned them out. Hey presto, guess what? You smell like fish. Bears coming your way because it hunts with its nose. So if you've got a dog, it'll see the four-legged fluffy thing and think, oh yeah, that's food, I can eat that, that's mine. And now you've got problems. The other thing that you'll find with people having trouble in bear country is people moving very, very fast. Like if you're on a bike or you're running or whatever, a bear will see you. Look at that wind. A bear will see you moving, and the bear's not trying to catch you to eat you, it's just trying to catch you because you're moving fast. Yeah. Whenever I train people and bring them out to the mountains and I'm sitting talking to people about this, look at that, I've got a really good view all the way around. You can see everything all the way around. Mind you, if there was a cougar creeping up on you, you'd never see it. Yeah, they could be literally 10 feet away from you, you ain't gonna see it. Yeah. If a cougar wants you, mate, trust me, you're in trouble. Serious trouble. Yeah. Cat is an apex predator. There could be a cat sitting behind that tree and you wouldn't even know it was there. Yeah. Yes, they are stealthy hunters. That's why they're apex hunters. Yeah. But generally speaking, they don't like people. They avoid people. So does everything else. Yeah. But just be bear aware, and you've got to be smart when you're out in bear country. So yes, I can't remember the name of the guy that asked me why I don't peg my shelters down like everybody else does at the back. And the reason being is a lot of those videos that you see are European videos. And in Europe, like you take England for instance, they don't have bears. You know, if you're out in Germany and whatever, there's bears in the German forest and whatever. But a bigger threat out that way would be wild boar. Like, I would rather face a bloody bear than a wild boar, I can tell you. Because a bear I can get rid of. Yeah, chances are a bear's going to leave. Wild boar, not a chance. They're nasty little buggers. Yeah, you don't want to mess with them guys, I'm telling you. If there was a lot of wild boar out around here, I would carry a rifle. No question. I would carry a rifle if it was and you can carry a rifle out here if you want. But if I was in wild boar country, trust me, yeah, I'm carrying a rifle. Yeah, you don't mess with those things. They can do some serious damage. Yeah, they're nasty. Right, as you can see, the fire has worked its magic. It's chucking off some good heat now, actually. I want to get it down to some decent coals in the bottom, which is why I'm not stoking any more wood on it. I'm going to get it down to some decent coals. I'm going to boil me up some water, and I'm going to make up some oatmeal. I really fancy oatmeal. So let me get some water going. In the meantime, that wind. Ooh, that cloud is moving. It's moving fast. It's coming from the west. It's coming from the big mountains, which are that way. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Oh well. At least in the forest you get most of the wind is gone. Now, if you're out in the open, this is why I don't like being up on the rock on the side of mountains. Like if you're up on the side of a mountain and this kind of wind comes through, you've got no protection. There's no cover. It's just you and the wind. There's nothing to mediate it. But if you're in a forest, the numbers are, if you've got a 50% porous fence or structure between you and the wind, it reduces the wind by 50% for 8 times its height. So if you think these trees, most of these trees around here, say 80 feet, 100 feet, say 100 feet because the math is easier. So if you've got a 100 foot and it reduces the wind speed by 50%, it's good for 800 feet. So 800 feet past the trees, it's reduced the wind for you. Yeah. So if you're in a dense forest like I am, I mean, stood down here at ground level, I can only just feel the wind. But if I look up at the top of the trees are actually moving around quite a lot. Yeah. These trees are waving. These are big, tall trees. These aren't little trees. These are big trees. Yeah. And they're waving around like a good one. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to move these embers around so I've got somewhere to put my kettle, and I'm going to get some hot water going. Now, something that is important when you're out in the middle of nowhere is to minimise risk to injury and things like burns. So turn around that way a little bit. There we go. Yep. So one of the things that you can do is, this is very simple. It's a UV glove. Fits in the pack, really good if you're out camping. It's a fantastic thing to have with you, because the last thing you want is a serious hand burn. You do not want a hand burn out here. So the other thing that I like is my tongs, because I can move stuff around in the fire. If I need to move these around, I've got ends that need moving. I can do all that safely. Yeah, wind getting up there. Yeah, I can do all that safely. I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to boil up some water. There we go. Just need to make a better base for that to sit on. Don't want that falling over in the fire. That would not be good. Once I've got the water hot, then I will make up some oatmeal and I can put some more wood on this thing. Yeah. The sun is breaking through. I do have gaps, so that's good. So, easy way to do it. Get that set on there like that. Get some decent embers underneath. Doesn't take long, because for oatmeal you don't need much water. You really don't. But I'm going to set this up over here. There's a bit of a tree near here that I've been watching. I'm not convinced it's not going to come down. So what I will do, I will set that up there. I will let that water do its thing. Oh, she's starting to bubble in there. That's good. Shows you how quickly that wood burns through. So if you look at that pile of wood that I had in there and you think, oh, that's enough for a fire, that's going to last a long time, I can see it steaming there. That's good. Making a good sound. Won't be long. Then I can get some more wood back on this thing, get this fire going again. whenever you make an oatmeal, always remember to add the water to the oatmeal, not the oatmeal to the water, because one of the things you'll find is it's very easy to add too much water. Oatmeal, you've got to get it just right. There's that right balance. I can hear the water in there starting to steam and bubble. So we're not going to be far off. Always remember, minimise your injuries. One of these, yeah, might be something else to put in your pack, and I know I hear all these people all the time, oh, you've got to lightweight your pack and lightweight your pack and all that kind of stuff, yeah, which is great, but given the choice between carrying something like this that I could work with fire with and I don't have to worry about it, it's like when I carry my umbrella. I've got my umbrella in there. People laugh at my umbrella, but it let me tell you, it works. So that water's getting pretty good now, I can hear it. So what I'm going to do is just going to mix this up. Let's make, oh yeah, woo, oh yeah, she's hot. Yeah. I'm going to let that do its thing. I'm just going to let that do its thing while I get to my grog here. My fire's looking pretty reasonable. There we go. That's how you top the fire up. Once you've had the nice fancy fire and you've done all that other good stuff, that's how you actually top a fire up. Yeah. You can sit there and put a few nice little logs on there if you want and make it look all pretty again, but once you've got a fire going and you've got heat in there, I just grab a bundle of logs like that. They're just little branches, they're inch and a half, they ain't much, and then just chuck them on the top, let them get some heat in there, because I had to let the fire die down, because you don't want flames when you're boiling stuff in the kettle. You really don't want flames, you want embers. So just let that do its thing for about 10 minutes, that'll just get going again, and hey presto, I'll be back to good fire. By that time, I'll have eaten my oatmeal. Looking forward to my oatmeal. That's pretty cool, I like that. So, right, I will set this up over here. Do its thing. Actually, do you know what? Not very keen on that wind, so I will put this over here. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. Perfect. The other advantage is having one of these buckets with you, when you've got a tarp like this set up, right? If we suddenly get a huge downpour, I can set the bucket up on the back edge of the tarp there, lower it down so it just collects all the water, and it'll fill my bucket up. You'll be surprised how quick it'll fill it up too. So I'm going to stop rabbiting, I'm going to sit and enjoy my oatmeal, and I'll get back to you in a bit. Right. The other advantage of oatmeal is it's very easy to make. It's light, it tastes damn good. It's easy to make, easy to carry. It when it's warm. On a cold day, it's actually fairly chilly. This warms you up. Food keeps you warm. But for out here in the middle of winter, there's several ways of generating heat. You have to generate heat. You can generate heat by movement, your muscles moving, with a fire. One of the other things that people will see me do, I have my hot water bottle with me. So I boil up water, pour it in my hot water bottle, and you can put it down inside your jacket, If you've got a sleeping bag, you can stick it in your sleeping bag. But, and the other very important thing is hot food. Warms you through. That is so good. That wood I just put on there should get going in a minute. It takes a little while to heat up, but once it heats up we'll get rid of this bloody smoke. But the good thing with the smoke is it gets rid of the bugs. Oh, this is good. This is the apple flavour. I just get those big variety boxes. It's the cheapest way to buy them. Come on, smoke, go the other way. Trouble is the wind is swirling around in here. There we go. Easy, isn't it? It gives you enough energy to keep going for some time. Yeah. I do have an orange in here. As I've said many times, make sure that whatever you have with you that has a scent or a smell or whatever. If I was camping overnight, my food would be up. I've got a food tree over there. My food would be up my food tree. At the moment, that fire's looking pretty miserable, isn't it? That fire's not doing good. Let's see if we can do something about that. That's looking pretty miserable, eh? That ain't much of a fire. Look at that. That's very smoky. Let's see if I can't move some of these embers in. Put some of them on the top. You would think in this wind that I wouldn't need to blow a fire into life, but there you go. Now it's away. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. That's much better, eh? Yeah. Yes, much better indeed. I will definitely take that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's doing well now. Right, let me sort out my next lot of firewood. I've got some on the ground over there. I will sort that out, get everything set up for what I need, and do some more in a bit. Very important when you've eaten something, make sure you drink water. Very important to drink water after you've eaten. Right, I will do just that. Well, since the sky is now turning slate grey, I think I'm going to let this fire die right down. I'm going to start packing up some of my stuff, do the shelter last, because I've got a feeling we're about to get a torrential one. Right, I'll do some more in a bit. Right, weather is taking a turn for the worst, as you can see. That's not good. There's big black rain clouds coming in, even bigger and blacker rain clouds over there, and I can still hear thunder. And where I'm at is fairly exposed. I don't want to be stuck out here in a thunderstorm. Their thunderstorms can be ridiculous. So fire is out, soaked, stirred, walked on. It's absolutely soaked down. It's just had about 3 gallons of water on it. So right, I'm heading out of here. I have to head that way. So thanks for coming along. Everything's all tidied up, all my stuff's put away, and bench and that's all put away. Firewood's covered. Had a quick look around, make sure there's nothing left behind. Only leave footprints, that's what we want to do. Right, thank you for coming along. Much appreciated. Bye for now.